Hello students, this is your professor Kathy Mazak, and I'm going to be talking to you today about the simple future in this short video. There are two ways that we can form the future tense in English. One is using the word will, and one is using be going to. These two forms of the future tense can usually be used interchangeably, which means that they basically mean the same thing. So let's start with be going to. We can use be going to talk about future plans, things that we're planning to do or that we're going to do. So for example, we are going to spend our vacation in St. Thomas. That means that we probably booked our plane tickets, we made a hotel reservation, we searched for ground transportation. We have a pretty good plan. This is something we are planning to do. Another example, I'm going to go to the dentist next Tuesday. That means you made an appointment, you excused yourself from work or school, you've made a plan, and you're implementing that plan. To form the future using be going to, you can use this formula. Start with the subject, then use a form of the verb to be that you need to change in order to match the subject, then use going to, and then use a main verb in the base form. So you get sentences like this. I am going to study for pre-calculus. We are going to spend time together. You are going to attend the ceremony. She is going to eat breakfast at Denny's. Notice that the form of the verb to be changes depending on the subject, but going to does not change, and the main verb is in the base form without any endings. To make the simple future negative using be going to, we just put the not right between the form of the verb to be and the going to. So it looks like this. I am not going to go to lunch with you. He is not going to do the assignment. Okay, that's all you have to do. Forming, there it is. There's the forming the simple future be going to, and you can see it in this chart that the not fits right between the form of the verb to be and going to. Now, to make a question, we can refer back to our question formula. And if you look back at the question formula, you'll see that you just are going to invert or switch the form of the verb to be and the subject to make it fit into our question formula. So, for example, if you're going to form a yes/no question, it will just say, is she going to visit the doctor? Or are you going to have lunch with me? Similarly, for a WH question, you would just start with the word, for example, when is she going to visit the doctor? Or when are you going to have lunch with me? And that will work for forming your questions. It follows the same question pattern that we've been studying all semester. All right, now let's talk about forming the simple future with the word will. So again, you can use the future to talk about what you will do, plans that you will have. So for example, I love these cookies. How did you make them? And the person says, I will send you the recipe when I get home. Can I talk to you in my office? Yes, I'll be there right away. Another way that you can use the future with will is to make a promise. Like when you talk to your parents, right, about what's going to happen. You can say, don't worry, I will be careful. Or I will call you when I arrive. Or I will see you next week. And these are forms of making promises in English. So when you form the simple future with will, it looks like this. You have a subject, and then you put the auxiliary verb will, and then you use a main verb in the base form and an object, or whatever the rest of the sentence is. So I will open the door. You will drive on our way back. She will be there right away. So this is really everything else instead of an object, right? Everything else. If you want to make the simple future negative, you use will not or the contraction won't, okay? And the not fits in between the will and the base form of the verb. And it looks like this: I will not do your homework for you. Or if you use the contraction, it is I won't do all the housework myself. There it is on our chart. You just insert the not between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. To form a question with the simple future using will, you invert the position of the subject and the auxiliary verb will. Again, if you go back to our question formula, this fits. So it can be, will you be back before class is over? Or will she finish her homework on time? And again, we can make these into WH questions just by putting the WH word in front. So if we erase this, we can ask, when will you be back? Or, when will she finish the homework? Now, if you want to practice, you can think about writing a paragraph to answer either one of these questions. Again, you can just do it to practice. It's not an assignment. But if you think about things like, what will you do over Christmas break? That's going to make you use the future tense. For example, I will visit my family. I am going to travel to New Jersey. Okay, so for example, those are sentences that you can make. This one uses will. This one uses be going to. All right, that's all I have to say about the future tense. There'll be some exercises that you can practice with, and I hope that makes sense. Please make sure that you send me an email or ask in class if you have any questions. Have a great day. Bye.